Hey there, my fellow Jeffersonians. This is Phil with the State of Jefferson Podcast. We're going to be doing a YouTube response video to Charles Walker's video over at Jefferson State Party. You can look him up on Facebook, and don't forget to check out his YouTube channel. And a couple things that I wanted to touch on that Charles mentioned in his video is the idea that in the state of Jefferson there should be no gerrymandering. And I absolutely agree with that. As he explained in his video, gerrymandering is where they redraw the districts, cutting out certain people and including others. And what it can end up doing is skewing election results based on, a certain area tends to vote this way, whereas another area votes another, and it ends up skewing the representation of the voters there. And so I agree with him wholeheartedly that Jefferson should have none of that. Something else that he also mentioned that got me thinking was that each county, when they would get 2 senators that would go to the Jefferson State Legislature, the Jefferson Congress, what have you. But he also said that each one should only get like 1 representative, or I would say 2, just in case you get stuck with one guy that's, not very awesome. So, and that got me thinking, because originally the way I thought of Jefferson was that, each county would get 2 senators to send to the state government, and then as far as representatives goes, they would each get a certain number of representatives based on population. And the more I think about it, the more I kind of like the idea of each county getting the same number of representatives, because then we might end up running ourselves into the same situation that we have with Northern Oregon and Southern California, where, we're outvoted out here and therefore our voice is not even heard at all. This way, you would get places that are much more highly populated, like Shasta County and Humboldt County, Mendocino County, and areas like that have a much higher population than, say, Plumas or Glenn or Modoc counties, and that would elevate their voice so that everybody's on a much more even playing field and nobody's drowned out. Because then, we don't want to get Jefferson and then have Jefferson split up into yet smaller states, because we end up running into the same problem as before. And this kind of goes along with what the original idea for the Electoral College was, which was to make sure that the voice of the minority didn't drown out the voice of the voice of the majority didn't drown out the voice of the minority. Because, in a true democracy where everybody gets 1 vote and there's no provisions for, like you get the 51st percent overruling the 49%, and then that minority ends up getting oppressed. It's basically mob rule. So the idea behind the Electoral College, and I think this is what Charles was going after here, is to make sure that the minority still gets a say and doesn't, get drowned out because of that, 1 vote that they had that wasn't in their favor. So I think that would make for some very interesting discussion there, and I'd like to hear what you Jeffersonians think about that. You can visit Jefferson Party Facebook. That's Charles Walker's place, and there's almost 300 likes on it right now, so let's try to push that up to 300 and get a discussion going. And there's a lot of very good people on there. Lots of more prominent Jeffersonians are starting to show up there, so and definitely go there, make your voice heard, and let's have a public discussion about how we should run things. And don't forget to visit stateofjeffersonpodcast.com, and if you go up to the top, you'll see a link to State of Jefferson Constitution. That's a rough draft idea, just sort of toying around with it, that we have up there. And so check it out and see what you think, and let's see if we can, expand the movement, get more people involved. Anytime that you're in a conversation with anybody and they complain about, Oregon or California or some law that they have, that you disagree with or they don't like, bring it up to them, and tell them, hey, this has been going on since 1941, and for much the same reasons, and many of those reasons have expanded greatly in those 70 years. So anyhow, I hope you enjoyed the video. I apologize, this is my first video and I haven't done video before, but maybe there'll be more. Don't forget, let's check it out. Let's make this movement grow. And thank you very much for watching. This is Phil with the State of Jefferson Podcast, turning a state of mind into a state of reality.